Hey, welcome to your practice. My name's Sophie and I will be guiding you through a lower body focused prenatal vinyasa flow yoga class. Now, if you happen to have a block or two, have it handy. I'm going to be cueing with and without the block so that if you don't have them, then that's totally fine. And if you have them, then great. So regardless of what props you have, just come and join me on your mat. We're going to get started in Vajrasana, and that is the way that I'm seated here with my heels underneath of me. Now, if for any reason this doesn't work for you, you can sit cross-legged. A block can be really helpful, or two. Put it long ways underneath of you, right between the feet, right under your butt. And so once you find your comfortable seat, we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to take the shoulders up to the ears just one time and then bring them back and down. Rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. Take a breath in through the nose. Take a long breath out. Again, breathe in. And when you breathe out, it can be out of your mouth or nose, it doesn't matter. One more time. Bring your chin down ever so slightly. Let your breath be natural. If you want, you can rest your hands on your belly. And just connect with your body and with your baby. And as you continue to breathe here, the belly is expanding on the inhale and softening on the exhale. And today's class is about creating space, which is very relevant for when we're pregnant. When doing yoga, we need to learn to create more space for our bodies. And through this spaciousness, we can learn to settle the mind, feel clear-headed and aware and open. Take another breath. Rest your hands back down onto your thighs and reach your arms up. Interlace your hands and flip your palms up. Keep your thumbs and pinky fingers together and straighten the arms to the best of your ability. It's okay if don't feel like they're going all the way straight. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, round your spine, bring your arms out in front of you, press your shoulders forward, chin down. Inhale, rise back up, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, round and curl. So we're doing cat-cows from this position. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Stay here. Take a side bend to your right on your exhale. So your right arm comes down, left arm goes up and over. Side bending gives us that feeling of creating space in our bodies. Reach the arms back up. Inhale, exhale, side bend to the left. So your left shoulder is down away from your ear, but your right arm goes up and over as much as it can with the palm facing down. Reach your arms back up and release your arms down by your sides. Couple shoulder rolls here. And we'll come onto our hands and knees. So if you have your blocks, you'll want to put them at the front of your mat because that's where it'll be easiest to grab when we need them. So once you arrive onto the hands and the knees, take your right leg out to the right. So you're putting the outer edge of the right foot down onto the ground. Good. And we'll do a couple cat-cows here. So let's start with cow, where you drop your belly and lift your chest. So you can really feel the inner thigh stretch a little bit here as you tilt forward. And then round your spine, your pelvis tilts back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time like that. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral. Lift the right arm up as you peel your chest open to the right side. And just let your whole torso twist to the right. Take some circles with the right wrist. During pregnancy, we can get some pain in our joints from our ligaments becoming more lax. So perhaps this feels good in your wrists. And then re-extend your arm up. Now let's take some circles. Right arm will go back, down, and around. So shoulder circles here. Slow it down. The next time the arm is up, keep it there. And take your left foot out to the left a little bit, like a kickstand, but keep the knee where it is. And just slide your right leg back. So now we're in a modified plank facing the right side of the room. Reach your right arm over your ear. So again, side body stretching to find that opening. And what does it feel like if you draw your ribs in and bring your tailbone down a little bit? It might help you get more of a stretch on the top of the right hip here. Reach the right arm back up and bring your hand down. Come back into tabletop. Right knee comes down to meet the left. Take your left leg out to the left. So we're repeating same thing, but now on the left side. And move through cat-cows. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Keep the outer edge of the left foot pressing down and round and curl into cat. And keep going. 2 more times. And come back into neutral. Lift your left arm up. Let your whole torso turn to the left. Take some wrist circles. Find stillness there. And then we'll take big circles with the left shoulder. Start by going back, down, around, and up. Take one more big circle with me. And when the arm is up, let's keep it there. And take your right foot a little bit out to the right and slowly swing your left leg behind you into a modified side plank and left arm over your ear. Press into the outer edge of your left foot. Press into the knuckles of your right hand into the ground. And then bring your hand and knee back down into tabletop. Good. Now tuck your toes and walk your hands back to sit back on the heels. So we're in toes pose. If it's too much, you can keep your hands on the ground and stretch your toes still this way. Just a couple breaths here. Now, if you're up, put your hands on the ground. Lift your knees off the ground and take them wide. So you still have your toes curl under, and maybe you walk your hands down and fold down. Set the knees back down. Walk your hands back out into tabletop. Lift your hips up for downward facing dog. Take some movement here. Shake out your head. Maybe shake out your legs. What do you need today? We'll find stillness and walk your hands back to meet your feet at the back of the mat. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Let your upper body hang heavy. Perhaps grab onto your elbows for ragdoll. Slight bend of the knees as you shift and sway side to side. No effort in the neck. Switch the grip of your arms. Good. Release your hands down to the ground. Keep your fingertips where they are on the ground, or maybe blocks if you want. Have your toes slightly turned out, and we're going to come down almost all the way into a yogi squat, into malasana, and then re-straighten the legs. And again, bend and straight. Keep going. From here, we're going to do 5 more. We're building heat, strength in the legs. Squatting is really, really important during pregnancy to help prepare us for labor. 2 more. I think we might have done 1 extra, but that's okay. Okay, 1 more. And then straighten the legs. And keep your left fingertips down. Bend your left knee. Open your right arm to the right. It brings a lovely stretch into the outer right leg. If you want, take your right arm into a half bind. And notice what you're doing with your neck. Find a position that feels comfortable. There's no right or wrong way. But if you're like looking forward or up and looking down might feel more easeful, then do that. Then reach your right arm back up and down to the ground, and we'll switch sides. Bend your right knee. Reach your left arm up. Such a glorious stretch. Left arm into a half bind. Soften the neck. And reach the left arm back up, hand back down. We're going to come into tabletop onto the hands and knees. Okay, so quick note. While we're pregnant, we want to, even if you technically feel like you can, make your way into a plank or go walk out into down dog, we want to be really cautious because there are certain movements that can cause a doming of the linea alba, this fascia in the middle of our core, and that can lead to diastasis recti. So that's something you can look out for and watch out for. I won't talk about it too much now, but we'll just make sure that we're not putting ourselves at risk for that during pregnancy. And I promise, as soon as you have your baby, you can get right back to your regular practice, okay? So here in tabletop, take a breath in. And as you exhale, imagine you're hugging the baby in towards the midline. So it's an engagement of that core of the rectus abdominis. Now keep breathing, but keep that hugging in motion. And extend your right leg back. Keep that engagement. Reach your left arm forward. You can always look down at your belly. If you notice a big bulging or doming forward, then you've done too much. And so always back off. If you can maintain this without that doming, and you can always look up what this looks like if you're not familiar. But if you can maintain this, then keep holding. This in itself is so good. It's really good for our back strength. Make sure that you're knitting the ribs in, that your hips are even. Let's take 1 more breath. And then put your hand and knee back down to the ground. Take an inhale to relax the belly and then relax the pelvic floor. Exhale, hug everything into the midline. And slowly extend your left leg back. Press into the ground so your shoulder blades move away from each other. Slowly reach your right arm forward. Even if this is something that pre-pregnancy you were like, this is a really easy movement. If we do it slowly and correctly during pregnancy, we can really benefit our deep inner core muscles and prevent that ab separation, the diastasis recti. Take another breath in and breath out into tabletop. Downward facing dog. All right, walk your feet up to your hands, take little steps, and you can have your feet wide once you get there to create space for the belly. Lift up halfway and fold forward. We'll stand up and reach the arms up. Bring your hands to your heart and bring your arms down by your sides. Now you can bring your feet back to hip distance, and reach the arms up again. Bend your right elbow, grab onto the right elbow with the left hand and take a side bend to the left. Rise back up to center. Switch your grip, grab onto the left elbow with the right hand, take a side bend to the right. Breathe. Come back up to center, reach your arms up, and we'll fold forward. If you have your blocks, put your hands on your blocks, lift up halfway, and step the left leg back into low lunge. Take your feet into a lizard shape, so lizard lunge. So both hands are inside of your right foot. Now firm up your back thigh, broaden your chest a little bit, and lower your back knee down to tap the ground, and then lift it back up. Engage your core. Lower the back knee down, lift it back up. One more time, lower, and lift. Good, now lower it all the way down. Now bring your knee up and in like you're in you want your knee directly underneath your hip, so 90 degrees. Then take your foot over to the right. All right, then shift your weight forward and reach your left arm up. So think of this as a side angle pose on our knees. Reach your left arm over your ear. Now we're gonna rise up into kind of a gate pose. So keep your front knee bent, but rise all the way up with your arms out wide. And then come back down into our made up side angle on our knee. Come back up into our modified gate pose and lower back down. And one more time, rise up and lower down into side angle. And bring both hands down to the ground. Your back leg will slide as far back as you can. Untuck your back toes. And then straighten out your right leg and flex the foot. Inhale, bend your right knee into lizard. Exhale, straight. So we're just starting with dynamic movement. One more time. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straight. Stay here with your legs straight. Maybe you slide the heel forward a little bit, flex the foot. You can walk your hands forward. Again, hands could be on the ground or on blocks. I want you to maintain a long spine. So if walking the hands forward causes you to round your back like the way I look here, it kind of defeats the whole purpose because then you don't feel as much in the back of your leg. So if that's the case for you, stay more upright and draw your right hip back. If you can maintain the long spine and walk your hands forward, that's fine too. Really flex the toes, maybe flex and point your right foot a few times. And then we'll make our way back through lizard, lunge. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. So just like how we started here. Then bring your back foot up and in. And you're setting up for a pyramid, pretty wide stance of pyramid with both hands inside of the right foot. And inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Spread your toes. Let your head hang heavy. And then lift up halfway. We're going to come back into a fold, but we're going to do it differently. So come onto your fingertips, lift up high, and take your arms back behind you into airplane. Roll your shoulders back, and then slowly stand all the way up. Keep your legs how they are. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back. If you need to grab a strap or something between your hands to create space, please do. And then we'll fold forward again. The arms go up and over. If you feel like you're locking out your right knee, you might put a little bend to the knee. Again, that's up to you and how your body feels. Nothing inherently wrong with locking out the knee. Can you draw your right hip back a little bit more? And slowly bring your hands to the blocks or to the ground and step your feet to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway, wiggle out your hips. Good. And then step your right leg back to lizard. So your left foot comes over to the left a little bit. Your back knee and back thigh are lifted firmly. Now look down at your belly. Think about hugging the baby in. This core engagement is super important right now. So you want to maintain that and lower your back knee down and lift it up. Again, knee down, it taps, and you lift it back up. And one more time, lower and lift, hold. Then put the knee down, bring the knee a little closer to the front of the mat so you have a 90-degree angle. Bring the right foot over to the left. Bend deep into your left knee and reach your right arm up and over. So if this feels a little awkward, you might slide your left foot into the center a little bit more so your knee and right knee and left foot are lined up on the same line. Reach your right arm over your ear. Again, more side bending to create space. Spaciousness in the body. On your inhale, rise on up, arms out wide to a T. Stay here for your exhale. And then we'll bring the left hand back down, right arm over the ear. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, side angle. Stay here. And bring your hands to the blocks or to the ground. Back into lizard. Slide your back leg back. Left foot over to the left. Untuck your back toes. Push down into your back foot. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Inhale, bend into lizard. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, bend. Exhale, straight. Slide the foot forward a little bit. Flex the foot, maybe flex and point a few times. We just feel into what feels good and move accordingly. There's no right or wrong as long as you're not hurting yourself. And so again, either you're staying upright, drawing your right hip back, and sometimes this just itself has so much value to it, even if you can go forward. But if you feel like going forward today, walk your hands forward, spine long, maybe the head drops down. And just by moving our limbs in all different directions, we're creating so much space in our lives. When the body is spacious, the mind becomes spacious. Walk the blocks back or hands back. Come back into lizard. Tuck your toes and lift your back knee. Now you're going to step your back foot up and in. So we're in a wide-legged pyramid pose. Lengthen your spine as you square your hips-ish to the front of the mat. And then fold forward. And the reason I say ish is because you have to listen to your body. If the hips don't want to both point forward completely, that's okay. You won't get hurt. We have to rethink alignment and some of these cues that we have been listening to or adhering by for so long. Now lift up halfway. Okay, strong back. Take your arms back into airplane as you're in a half lift here. And then rise all the way up. Stand tall, interlace your hands. Maybe do the other thumb on top and roll the shoulders back while maintaining an upright spine. And then we'll start to fold back down to the ground. Arms up and over. And then slowly bring your hands to the blocks or to the ground and step your feet to the front of the mat. And lift up halfway and fold forward. Maybe you set the blocks to the side if you have them. And we'll bend the knees a little bit to stand all the way up. Roll on up. Roll the shoulders back and down. We stand tall at the front of the mat. Reach the arms up. Gaze up. Cactus the arms, maybe a little back bend, tiny back bend with a slight bend to the knees. And then inhale, reach the arms back up. And exhale, fold forward. You bring your hands down to the ground. Lift up halfway. And they're going to step back into a tabletop. Set your knees down gently. And step it back into tabletop position. From table, let's make our way into pigeon pose. Right knee comes up towards the right wrist. Left leg slides back. Take a moment to wiggle and sink into pigeon. Push down into the top of your back foot, just like we did in lizard. All right, then we're going to do a variation. So you'll bring your left forearm to the ground so it's parallel to the front of the mat. And bring your right hand into your inner right thigh and turn. And if it's not comfortable, do a different variation. That's the beauty of practicing from home, is that you can kind of do whatever you want. You can go to the bathroom whenever you want. Press down into your left hand to rotate a little bit more. Good, then we'll come back onto the hands and we'll rise up. Lean onto your right hip and gently and slowly swing your left leg around. And we're going to do rock the baby with that left leg. So your right knee kind of stays how it is, right leg stays how it is. We're going to wrap our arms around the left leg for rock the baby. And it's okay if you need to just hold on to your leg a different way. And so from this position, you just go a little side to side. I guess rock the baby is appropriate for pregnancy. Getting ready to rock a baby. All right, now you're going to, I'm just going to turn this way for ease of showing. You're going to grab onto the outer edge of your left foot with your right hand and extend forward. Now maybe your leg doesn't straighten all the way. That's okay. It can be bent like this. Then take your left arm back. If you need more space for the belly, create more space. Left arm goes back. Good, then we're going to face forward, bend the knee, and plant the left foot down and extend your right leg long. Left foot plants, right leg extends. Open the legs up a little bit so you have space for the belly. Put your right hand on your outer left knee and twist to your left. So we're twisting in the same direction that we just did. Try to twist from the upper spine a little more, maybe gaze back. If your neck isn't feeling it today, just keep your neck neutral. Chin right over your chest. Good, now we're facing forward again. Take your hands behind you. Bend both knees. Have your fingertips facing the front of the mat. You might stay here, or you come up into a reverse table where you lift yourself up. Lift your belly up, firm up your thighs and your backs of your thighs, your glutes. Inhale, exhale, lower down to the ground, fingertips behind you. Still, take your feet out a little further out in front of you, toes up and heels down, and windshield wiper your legs side to side. You might be on your palms for this, whatever feels good. Okay, we're going to make our way back the way we came. So your right leg was in pigeon, right? So put your right leg into a pigeon shape. Swing your left leg back behind you. Come back through pigeon. Put your left knee on the ground. Come into a tabletop. Okay, other side. Left leg into pigeon. Right leg slides back. Take a moment to arrive. Our hips are very happy that we're doing this. I know we all need it. Now bring your right forearm down, parallel to the front of the mat, and left hand on the left thigh. Push the right hand into the ground to rotate to the left. So we're doing a lot of twisting, open twisting and side bending today to create space in our spine. And whether we realize it or not, that spaciousness afterwards gives our spine so much health and vitality. It makes us feel a lot better. Sometimes it's subtle difference, sometimes it's a big difference, but it's always there. Let's come back onto the hands slowly. Right now you'll lean onto your left hip and slowly swing your right leg out in front of you. And then we'll take a rock the baby with the right leg. I'm just going to turn around, but your right leg is going to come into your, be cradled by your arms. So now we're stretching the outer right hip. Can you soften the muscles of the face here, the neck? Just keep yourself in that Zen-like state of mind for your practice. All right, then we're going to grab onto the outer edge of the left foot and extend the leg forward. Maybe it's bent, maybe it's not. And again, to create more space, just take your leg out to the side a little bit. Doesn't have to be straightforward. Right arm back. One more breath. Okay, then we're going to set the right foot down. Extend the left leg straight out in front of us. Take a wide stance with the legs here. And we're twisting again. Right fingertips behind, left hand to outer right knee. We rotate from the upper spine here. Left foot is flexed. You can either gaze back, or maybe you want to look forward, or chin just stays aligned with the chest. So many good options. Let's come to face forward. Bend both knees, hands behind you. We're going to do another reverse table. Feet plant. Lift your hips up, up, up. Your head might drop back a bit. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down. You might turn your hands like out a little bit more here. Feet come further out. And then we'll just do some windshield wipers. Side to side. Okay. Now we'll come up to a seat and we're going to do another outer hip stretch. Take your left leg on top of your right leg for double pigeon, also known as fire log. You can always place a block under your knee if you're like this and this is not comfortable for you. If your hips are a little bit not primed for this right now, take your front foot, your left foot, place it directly in front of that bottom knee. And you'll still get a lot of benefits out of it. So wherever you are, sit tall and press your hands into your thighs. Relax your shoulders. You might stay right here. This is beautiful. You might fold down. You could put your forearms on a block or on the ground. Keep those feet flexed. The knees and the feet are kind of lined up with each other. Tilt your pelvis forward. We'll just stay here for a few rounds of breaths. And come back up onto hands. We'll switch the cross of the legs. Reflex the feet. And again, you can place the foot in front on the ground. You can put a block under your knee or neither of those. And then press your hands into your thighs. You can stay or maybe you go forward. Let's take 2 more full breaths here. Start to rise back up. We're going to uncross the legs. And so when you do this, make sure you're not like leaning back and trying to lift your legs up, that you just stay upright and you slowly unwind your legs. And again, this is to protect the core and keep it engaged properly. Then we take the legs out in front of us and bring the feet together, knees wide. And then make a wide diamond shape. So take your feet further out in front than you normally do. Wide diamond. More so like a longer, I guess it's a longer diamond. Anyways, come on down and fold to wherever it's comfortable. See if you can just let your arms just kind of rest. Let your head and neck relax completely. Start to walk your hands back up. We're going to make our way back into a tabletop position. And take your knees kind of wide, so they're not together, but they're wider. Take your hands, move your calf flesh out of the way and sit down between your ankles. Now, this doesn't work for everyone. If you have knee stuff going on, maybe this doesn't feel good for the ankles, feel free to modify, do something else that works for you, or take a block, sit on a block. Tuck those feet in towards you. Give yourself a little foot massage. You can use your palms of your hands, or you can get more specific with the thumbs into your feet. Give yourself some love. Good. You can keep doing this. You can stay upright, or you can bring your hands behind you with your fingers facing forward and tuck your tailbone under so that you feel your thighs pressing up. Maybe you bend your elbows back just a little bit more. Let's take 3 deep breaths. And slowly rise back up. Bring your hands to the ground. Untuck your toes. Maybe you come into that position that we did at the very beginning with your knees wide and you're sitting back towards your heels, chin down, head down. And then come back onto the hands and knees. And we're going to make our way into our final meditation. So if you want to lay on your back for Shavasana and you're comfortable on your back, feel free to do so. You can also just sit on a block and sit cross-legged or a cushion or whatever you have, or lay on your side. So you choose how you'd like to lay or sit. And this is only going to be a couple minutes, so stay with me because this is the most important part of the practice. Close your eyes wherever you are. And we're going to do some counting with our breath. We're going to breathe in for 4 and out for 8. Take an inhale first. Exhale. Inhale for 4. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going on your own. One more round. And let your breath return to normal. Invite in spacious awareness into your mind. And wherever you are, just bring your hands together at your heart. Thank yourself for showing up for this practice. And let's bow in gratitude for this beautiful healing practice. And I'll see you next time.